Watched Wigan versus
I think it's
Leeds.
B. Adams.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we'll call him Badams.
Badams, there we go.
Badams.
That's going to stick now.
Excellent. I sincerely hope his first name is Brian. Watched Wigan versus Leigh on Sky tonight, and he's a Warrington fan. Leeds' attack lacked focus and looked directionless, clearly lacking an offensive leader at the moment and struggling to run basic plays. Strange to see such a poor defensive chase from Leeds' kicks as well this week. Wigan impressive again, particularly in defence. Mark Roseveare, Leeds made a very average Wigan look good, winky face. And Mark, before you go mental. Alright, winky face at Mark, don't go mental. What I really meant was Wigan's defence was superb again, and now they seem to have found a way to attack. Colin Render.
Nice to hear from Mark. We haven't heard a lot from Mark this year.
It is good.
Coming out from under his bridge to have a little word with me there. But no, it's good to have Mark back in the rundown. Yes, I enjoy it.
Indeed. Colin Render, well, that was the best performance of the season. Ben Thaler, great refereeing, good game management and good banter. Wigan were dominant and by far the better team. Defensively, they are miles better than any other team in Super League. 9LBW. Leeds were delightfully awful tonight. I do hope they stay that way for another week or so. Wigan were just, Wigan. Paul Campbell got in touch. Manfredi, class act, fucking shit, haha. This is Manfredi.
Shit.
Dropping the F-bomb. Fucking shit. It's just fun.
Why as a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Get off, Dom. To be fair, if he was going on TV for his eloquence, he'd be on QI, wouldn't he? He's there to play rugby. Let's just give the guy...
It's not like he's massively experienced.
He's just a young lad.
Oh, it was obvious it wasn't any sort of... There was no intentional thing there. It was after 10 o'clock. He's sort of come out and apologised, probably more so than he even needed to. But
like
he's done all the right things.
It's not like he's LMS who should know better and does it for the crack because he thinks he's funny.
Yeah. You could tell by the fact that he said shit after saying fucking, it was totally accidental.
That was really funny, and I'm quite prepared to let him off. Cutthroat Jake, we were out-muscled by the better team. Still, it could be worse. We could have Saints next week. Oh, sad face. Seriously though, was expecting the score to be worse, and the youngsters are getting great experience that will come good in years to come.
We were talking, me and John, about Jordan Lilly, and obviously he got shipped off in the second half, and hopefully that's not going to prevent him from being a key role until Danny Maguire's back and maybe after, because everyone's enjoyed watching him, haven't they, this year? He was just out in a team that was totally outpowered, and maybe they were protecting him if nothing else.
Possibly so. Where am I up to now? Bob Phillips. Well, that's not as bad as the 8 points to 50 drubbing of 2012, which was our first live game of Rugby League.
Oh, one of my favourite ever games, that as well. Do you remember when we talked about favourite games on one of the Ask SLPs?
Yeah.
That was that.
It's up there, isn't it? Andy Barker, a dominant performance from Wigan, and if they could keep hold of the ball, they would have won this by 40. Leeds looked clueless in attack, and the first half's effort told in the second. Alan Witt said, I think it's fair to say that the scoreline tells the whole story. Leeds didn't seem to have anything going forward, and what they did have, Wigan defended well. Better to come from both teams, for sure. Wigan winning without being in top gear. Chris McKeown got in touch with us, or as his wife calls him, Chris McEwen.
His wife knows.
She does know.
Yeah.
Okay, a very one-sided game with Wigan putting their best performance out so far. Defence was superb and attack was better, but still needs a bit of work. Leeds have injuries, but when you look at the 17 they had out and the quality of those players, surely they should be playing better. Yeah, I agree with that. And Richard Wilkinson, who's a Leeds fan from Down Under, got in touch. He said, I've just listened to Brian Mack's interview. I love his honesty. If it wasn't for some sloppy hands, Wigan would have been 24 points up by half-time. Leeds were totally outplayed by a Wigan team playing at about 70%, with some key players missing. Leeds have a long way to go to be a top side in this league. Wigan simply ran harder and tackled harder. Positives for Leeds: Hardacre gave 100%, but both Falloon and JGB looked good. Handley had some nice touches, and Defo has a future in the game. If we're going to win some games, we need to be 1,000 times better.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're going at the moment, they're going to find it tough on the road without the South Stand helping them along, I would say, because they've
not been much help to them so far this season at home.
No, but they did win at home, and they have been closer in the home game.
True,
but it's just it seems strange that the Leeds fans are looking for positives.
You do look for positives.
Good of Richard to acknowledge that Wigan were also missing key players, because we haven't heard anyone else talk about it other than Sean Wayne. Yet Leeds' injuries or whatever have been on every page of every Rugby League paper for the last 3 months or 2 months.
Okay.
Whatever.
You won the game, mate. You won the game.
I know. No, I'm just saying it's nice of Rich to acknowledge it. It shows his all-round ability of being a good Rugby League fan.
He is very much so. Okay, so whilst that was happening over at Lang Street Park, St Helens were dispatching listless Wakefield with relative ease, 44 points to 4, the final score, Mark.
Yeah, I obviously, as I was at the Wigan game, I didn't see much of this. I just saw
I've just seen the tries.
Yeah, some of the tries sneaking through to the Sky coverage. It looked very Wakefield, an inability to stand in an organised defensive line around the goal line and, not be able to control any sort of momentum in the game.
It certainly seemed like Saints were basically scoring at will.
Yeah, there was an element of that from what I saw, and obviously Saints needed something like this probably. They're in a good position in the league despite you feeling like they've not got anything to beat any of the top teams at the moment. And I think that's what Saints did when they won the league, so maybe it's an omen for other people, but we'll find more out in the next 2 games when they got Leeds away and Wigan at home.
Yeah, big couple of weeks for St Helens, isn't it?
But this was certainly a big scoreline in their favour. Saints made 500 more metres off the back of 81 more carries. That was helped by 4 fewer errors and 5 fewer penalties conceded. So that's, you're giving them extra ball like that, and you're already a poorer quality side. You're going to struggle, and Wakefield did that. Wakefield, for a 3rd time this season, made less than 1,000 metres. It's just not good enough.
No.
Not good enough at all.
So who stood out?
But obviously, there must be some credit in there for the St Helens defence. You didn't get to see much of that on the highlights.
Well, that's it. I mean, if they've got that much ball in hand, they're not probably doing a great deal of defending anyway.
Well, that's a fair point. Yeah. And when they are, it's mostly just
up the middle.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be anything other than that. It doesn't all seem like they've just not got any options.
Tommy Makinson with 2 tries, 1 try assist and 2 clean breaks gets in the stat roundup. James Roby also grabbed 2 tries, 118 metres. Joe Greenwood was the 3rd player to get 2 tries with 2 clean breaks. Kyle Amor, 163 metres and 4 successful offloads.
Anybody look good for Wakefield?
Everyone looked good for Wigan, but for Wakefield, Craig Hall had 130 metres, 3 successful offloads.
Fucking hate doing the podcast when you lot have won.
He keeps doing his job since he's got his opportunity back in the last 2 weeks. I mean, the whole side hasn't done their job, but he's got some good numbers up there. Stuart Howard, 45 tackles, and Matt Ashurst, 42 tackles, obviously worked hard in vain.
Yes. Couple of tweets in on this one. Diane LBW, she said, I didn't go to the Saints game tonight, but it seems we won. Lost Swift to a serious looking injury too, which is a shame. And Aidan Stalker, he says, I know we can have a laugh at the unique running style of Adam Swift, but I'm obviously gutted for him. He has vastly improved, and this guy never gives up. He drove me mad when he first broke into the side, but now he's one of my favourite players at Saints. Get well soon, Adam. Yes, you do. We all quietly admire Adam Swift because he's got a heart. He's got a heart the size of a car, hasn't he? And he might run funny, but he runs pretty fast and he scores tries. He's
got great footwork and great face work, and the two together make him an SLP favourite.
I think there's a tendon that links his knee to his jaw. That's the only thing
what is it? Has it been confirmed a broken ankle? It's really devastating,
to be honest, but it's not. It didn't look good, did it?
The challenge has been cited, and Hull KR fans will be interested to know it's only got a grade B. Which is down from what Bedebza got. Or Ben Bedebza got upgraded, by injury, didn't it?
Yes.
To a 4-game ban. So
could this then be upgraded?
Yeah, the same thing must apply, mustn't it? If they're being consistent and they think it's an offence and they think it's caused the injury, you got to give the same 4 games.
It depends how long he's out for, I guess, does it? Because
it's going to be a long time if he's broke his ankle.
It's going to be a long time, isn't it? You're absolutely right. Okay.
But best to him in his recovery, and hope he loses none of those skills,
none of his cheeky step,
either footwork or face work wise.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Johnny Lomax these days? Saw a picture, some publicity picture that they'd done. They'd gone to a hospital or something, and there's like Saints player. Maybe just Lomax was there by coincidence, but there's Johnny Lomax.
Yeah, poor sick little Johnny.
Yeah. Because he must still be injured, is he?
Of course he is. Yeah, he's Johnny Lomax.
Of course he's injured. Yeah,
but he's probably. Realising every time he goes to go to training and then goes and watches the game and thinks, right, I won't watch Saints, I'll go and watch my mate Go and watch my old mate who I came up with, Wheeler. I'll go and watch him play. Oh shit, he got injured again. Maybe I should give this game up.
Maybe there just wasn't any fluoride in the water on the estate that those two get, or just like a calcium or something.
Yeah.
But no, Johnny Lomax. Blast from the past, and he's been back 22. Right, Saturday evening.
Let's hope he recovers.
Of course we do, yeah, absolutely. Because, well, he needs to recover just fucking at some point in life.
Yeah.
I mean, get better. Yeah, okay. Saturday evening saw Catalan Dragons take on the Warrington Wolves down in the south of France, and it was the Wolves that came away with the spoils with a 30 points to 20 victory at Les Drac, Mark.
Yeah, it was a game that it felt like neither side was ever really going to win. Although there was a creeping inevitability to the Warrington outcome as the second half wore on.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of which Catalan player is going to put a half-arsed effort in that's going to result in this going the other way.
This performance from Catalan epitomised what the criticism that everyone was levelling at them before a ball had been kicked this season was for me, was that they had all the gear and just no desire to implement it. They should be steamrolling teams. They should absolutely be steamrolling teams.
Yeah, definitely.
Glenn Stewart should not be one of the top tackle makers in this competition. He should, if anything, be one of the leading try assist makers. That's what we should be talking about with him. But he's having to make a lot of tackles. Dave Taylor.
He's having to make a lot of tackles because there's a lot of big bodies around him that don't move fast enough. I would imagine that the marker tackle stats, if you take Eloi Pelissier out of the side, are pretty poor from the whole across the board. That's just a guess. That's just a feeling, because it doesn't feel like any of that side put in a double shift both ways as well. There's not too many times where you see the same player carry the ball 2 times in the same set. Only when Dave Taylor just comes off the bench or Mason's just come off the bench do you see it. You don't see it 5 minutes into a...
No, they soon pack that shit in, don't they? Yeah, exactly. So, no, fair play to Warrington, who probably just about for me did enough to win the game. They were, on balance, the better side.
I think so, yeah. I think they were... They always see... Everything that they did well, they did better than the things that Catalans did well, apart from the Todd Carney try. Whenever you can get Stewart and Carney working together, it's going to be like magic, basically. I also would say, what on earth was going on with Richie Myler in terms of giving opportunities for charge downs? Come on, kid, you used to play with these boys. You know you can't go kicking it if you're flat off the ruck. You need to pass it on to the next guy. You're going to get shut down. It's what Warrington have done under Tony Smith for years.
Yeah, no, it was...
and with a half-assed, relaxed player behind you like Gigo, who...
The Frenchman in the world. The thing is...
He doesn't ever seem to be enthused, does he?
For a game where there was 50 points scored, I was frustrated and not entertained, which is kind of...
how I feel watching every Catalan game.
The indictment that I would chuck at them, They
seem to be so much slower than Super League games than games in England in terms of getting to the ruck. And maybe it's just the waffling that Sky do without being at the ground that makes it feel slower. Or maybe it's like the grass being so clumpy and like it doesn't look the same as like a nicely mowed ground, does it?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I sort of, I don't know.
It's weird.
I'm starting to think that it's phrasing here. I'm starting to think that because look at how well they were doing and the progress they were making for that period of time when they had Potter and then Roosters coach
Robinson.
Yeah, Potter and then Trent Robinson at the helm. There was a groundswell starting there, and it just seems to have.
They also had Kevin Walters though, didn't they, for a year and finished bottom of the league.
Yeah, but there was a cultural thing, particularly with Robinson. There was a cultural thing. Everyone spoke French. Everyone does this. I bet that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no!
And then they've got a French head coach. So my question would be, who do you get rid of, the players or the coach? Well, the coach. I'm not saying it's time to sack him, but are they a better unit with a more experienced? With a better coach?
Is it not more a question of why is the recruitment going for things that aren't going to be fit enough to play long minutes in your game, but yet you're packing your team with them. I mean, Imagine a team in the NRL with the reduced interchanges that has blokes like the size of Busquet, Mason and Taylor all in the same side.
Well, there's a reason that those boys are playing up north at the minute, particularly those, and there's a reason those two aren't playing in the NRL, and it's because they will have been told you need to slim down. And you look at forwards in the NRL, and